watching KKTV 11 News.
All right, folks, a couple of things to take note on a wider view here across the whole western United States and even out in the Pacific Ocean. Not a whole lot doing out here on the Pacific coast, but look at this stream of moisture that's all the way out here in the Pacific and cruising right up into the southern part of our country. That is a strong subtropical jet stream. We've got a strong disturbance that's tied to it that's making its way across central portions of New Mexico and eastern Arizona overnight tonight. Now, this thing would be great if it was coming a little bit farther to the north, but it's not. It's going to stay down here to our south, and it's going to give folks across eastern New Mexico and west central Texas a pretty good amount of water over about the next 36 hours or so. They need it down there as well, but this storm is going to miss us to the south, it looks like. So that paves the way for a pretty decent day in store for us for tomorrow. We start out in the 30s, we'll go to 50 by noon, and we end up in the upper 50s here in Colorado Springs. Should have a decent amount of sunshine in the forecast out there for tomorrow for Colorado Springs, but also for Pueblo. We'll start out in the mid-30s, 50s by lunchtime. We'll be in the 60s a little bit later on tomorrow afternoon, still with a decent amount of sunshine through the entire day. So there's really no real warm weather anywhere across southern Colorado for tomorrow, but these temperatures are still just fine for this time of year, topping out mainly in the 50s and 60s. Monument should get to 55, 50 in Woodland Park. We're talking 60s up and down the Arkansas Valley. Not a ton of wind out there either, which is always a treat this time of year, especially after you come off a weekend like what we had with all the serious wind gusts that we dealt with in southern Colorado. Hour by hour forecast model for tomorrow evening. Keeping things fairly quiet. Sprinkle, maybe a light shower right up next to the hills, but that's going to be about it. And by the time we head toward just after midnight, I think the sky's gradually going to clear out. Temperatures will drop down into the 40s, which will keep temperatures, well, kind of about where they should be for this time of year. I really don't think the big dose of spring gets here until later in the forecast. And I'll show you why. That low pressure that's down over Arizona, New Mexico, skirts off to the east and to the southeast. And behind it, high pressure really builds in here across the western United States. And it's going to have some staying power around here, too, before it gradually weakens and lets that storm system out on the Pacific coast impact us by early next week. So what we're doing here is teeing up a really good forecast that takes place right for the weekend. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we are going to have some of the warmest air so far this season across southern Colorado. Wind, yep, we'll have a little breeze in the afternoon, very typical, but nothing crazy like what we dealt with during the course of the weekend. And it looks like we're going to keep things mainly dry around here. So if you are looking for some great weather to be outdoors for maybe a couple of days around here, this is definitely the forecast for you. After upper 50s tomorrow, we'll go to 60 Wednesday, 64 on Thursday. But after that, we turn the corner to, I don't know, 10, 15 degrees warmer than that. Look at the 70s around here. There's an outside shot. Colorado Springs could hit 80 on Saturday. We'll keep an eye on that during the course of the week. But overall, we should be just fine. And then that next storm system moves in here by early next week. But again, doesn't cool us down a whole lot at all. It'll stir up the wind, maybe bring us some moisture. Pueblo, Canyon City, and Woodland Park the next 3 days, a little bit cooler, certainly, than what we're going to deal with Friday, Saturday.